Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It is customary at occasions such as this that certain members of the bridal party stand and share a few words with us, and I've been assured that they are keen and eager to do that today. To help them along, I want you to give a nice round of applause and a cheer. So for the first speaker this afternoon, please give a nice round of applause to the father of the bride.
Good evening, everybody. I would like to welcome everybody here today to celebrate the marriage of Marie and Tom. This is such a special day for Sue and myself. Marie is one of the most three precious things in our lives. Well, what can I say about Marie? Marie was born on Saturday the 15th of August 1987 at Alsip Maternity Hospital. What a pleasure it was to see her lovely little smiley face. But when I think back, was it wind? From day one, Marie has been a real joy to Sue and myself, and she has always been so proud in everything she does. Marie has always been able to wrap me round her little finger, and still does. How proud today, me and Mum are in Barley. We love you so much. You look absolutely beautiful. Yes. Now to my old mate Tom. When I first heard Marie talking about this new special boyfriend to Sue, I didn't say anything, just listened. Then my eyes pricked up as I heard Tom is a carpenter and into timber. I thought to myself, I want to meet him. When Sue and myself first met Tom, I thought he seemed a quiet chap. I was totally wrong. Tom came to our house more and more and was always polite. We became good friends. Tom and Marie are meant for each other. Tom treats Marie well and respects her, so I am happy to welcome you into our family. The bridesmaids all look lovely. They have done Marie and Tom really proud.
Yeah.
I would like to say thank you to my niece Kelly, who has travelled here from Australia today. We're very proud of you, Kelly. Thank you, it means so much to Marie.
Well done.
Right. Everybody, I hope today you will enjoy it yourselves and make Marie and Tom's day a day they will always remember forever. Finally, I ask you all to stand, raise your glasses to Marie and Tom. Good luck to you both.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you can do better than that for the father of the bride. Come on! And now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think you're going to meet a prouder man walking our very fine shores than our next speaker. Please put your hands together for the bridegroom himself.
I want to warn everyone before I actually start. After I cocked up the vowels earlier, I wasn't reading this word for word. So I'm going to just do this the whole time.
Get on with it.
First of all, Kev, I would like to thank you for your kind words and good wishes. I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Before I bore you all with my long-winded speech, I'd like to take this opportunity on behalf of my new wife, and may I say how beautiful she is. Thank you all for coming and spending this special day with us. It means a lot to us to be surrounded by a great family and close friends. I want to thank Kevin and Sue for their love and support and helping us make today a dream come true. I would also like to congratulate you both on raising such a wonderful daughter. which at times I'm sure was hard work. But if there's any consolation, she didn't turn out half bad. No, she is in my eyes the perfect woman. Alright. I remember when I asked Kev for his permission to marry Marie. I wanted his blessing because after all it's the right thing to do and I was always doing the right thing by you. I met him down his local, declaring I needed to have a little chat with him. He didn't intervene when I said let's have I first suggested a few drinks together, from which I'm convinced he knew what I was going to ask. As you can imagine, a few drinks turned into a lot of drinks. And it got to the point of the night where we were the last two left in the pub and it was chucking out time. By this point, I'm sure he was enjoying the nervous and awkward look on my face. So it was now or never, and I eventually plucked up the courage to ask him. As you can probably guess, he said no. No, I'm only joking, he said yes. Thank God, otherwise today would have been very, very awkward for me. So, the thing is, that was just the start of the ordeal of my proposal. When I actually proposed, we was on holiday in Rome, having dinner on this rooftop garden. Under the stars, everything was perfect. I linked in very softly to Marie and said, I have something to ask you, which I've been meaning to ask for some time. I ignored the extremely confused look on Marie's face and produced the ring.
I was drunk.
I asked Marie to marry me. Now I'm sure you all know it takes a lot for Marie to actually be quiet. So when she was speechless for 5 minutes, while she was sitting there staring at this ring, I started to panic a bit, I really did. So in the manliest voice I could muster, I sort of went, well. She replied by screaming yes, whilst crying her eyes out in front of everyone. And so I'm in a restaurant, full of strangers in a foreign country, with my now fiancée crying uncontrollably, staring at her hands. We got some funny looks, but it was well worth it. Right. I'd also like to thank my mum and dad for all your love and support you've given me over the last 26 years, especially for the last couple leading up to this wonderful day. On behalf of my wife Marie, I would like to say well done on raising such a wonderful... Hang on, it's a big list. Handsome, athletic, successful, kind, intelligent and generally great all-round guy with almost a full head of hair. Just so happens to be born with a massive ego. Right, now then, Marie, I'm sure everyone here would agree with me when I say you look stunningly beautiful. I feel truly privileged that you agreed to be my wife, and I promise that I will always love you and be there for you, as you are my words. I met Marie around 6 years ago in Jumping Jacks in Basildon. I remember trying to have a conversation with her, but it didn't go down very well due to the noise and the fact that, again, she's quite drunk. But I did manage to get her number. So after a week or so of texting, we finally managed to go on our first date. Basildon again. We went for a dinner and to see a film. This didn't really go so well, as all the restaurants were actually fully booked, so neither of us rung up ahead. So we had no option but to go for our first romantic meal in McDonald's. Don't get me wrong, they have quite a diverse menu these days, so it was alright, it's fine. It wasn't until we ordered our foods and we were about to pay when I realised I had no cash on me whatsoever. So I did what all gentlemen would do in that situation. I got Marie to pay. Not before I upgraded to a large meal. So, dinner was done, and obviously I'd made an impression. Not sure if it was a good one, but she was still there, and I considered things to be going well. We made our way over to the cinema to see a film, and I can honestly say I can't remember what that film was. All I can remember, it was Saw, was it? It was Saw, people, Saw. And all I can remember is Marie managed to spill a whole drink all over me. Even though our first date wasn't the greatest, I do remember sitting across from you in McDonald's and thinking this girl was special, and I was right. So, if everyone would like to join me, I would like to propose a toast to my beautiful wife, Marie. To Marie. There's only 16 of these, don't worry. Marie's family have been very kind to me over the years. From the very first time I met them, they have made me feel extremely welcome and part of the family. I couldn't think of a nicer family to become a member of, so thank you all so much. I would like to thank the bridesmaids, lots of the rounds, the maid of honour, and the ushers for helping to make today an extra special day for my wife. Girls, you look absolutely gorgeous. Boys, you don't scroll up too much. You see that's coming. So again, if everyone would like to join me in raising up your glasses, I would like to propose a toast to the bridesmaids and the ushers.
Cheers.
While I'm on the subject of toasts, I have one more. There's a few family members that have passed away in recent years, and sadly they couldn't be here with us today. My aunts and granddad in particular would have loved it, but sadly they have gone. Even though they're not here in person, I'm sure they are in spirit. So, for the last time, if everyone would like to join me again, I'd like to propose a toast to them, to absent friends. Right. I'm almost done. It's alright, I'm almost done. But there's one more person I've left to thank. That's Daryl, my best man. I've known Daryl for 22 years now, and we've always been best mates. In fact, I'm pretty sure we have never fallen out. For saying that, I haven't heard your speech yet, mate.
You just nicked my line.
So, in front of all these people, I'd like to thank you, Daryl, for agreeing to be my best man, for all your help, and for raising a great statement. For all of you that haven't heard the story, I'm sure one of the guys will fill you in at some point during the night. But as I'm about to sit through a good 10 minutes of abuse and stories of my past that my wife doesn't need to hear, I'd like to mention a small incident about Daryl during the stag do. He got a little too drunk. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but he ended up being sick, right? Which is fine. We've all been there. We've all been sick. We've all overindulged at some point, but I'm sure no one else in this room has been sick in the face of the bar manager in the bar we was at, which resulted in us all being chucked out of the pub and sent packing. That's just my little dig.
You're well. You're alright, yeah, exactly.
Thank you all for listening. I know I did drag on a bit. I hope you enjoy the rest of the evening.
Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. And now, ladies and gentlemen, a man who has looked after the bridegroom for the last few weeks, and I'm sure that he's got a few tales to tell, and I'm positive that he's going to share them with us now. So please, a nice round of applause for the best band.
Right, I'll start off with a word of warning to everyone. If you ever think it's a good idea when you see a guy down in pints at a bar, don't try and chuck him out when he's rushing down the stairs to the toilet. It's not going to end good. But no, hello everyone, my name's Daryl, if we haven't met yet. As Tom said, we've known each other many years, and we've never had a falling out. I'd hate to fall out over this speech, but but it doesn't look good, Tom. known each other so long. I've got quite a few stories to tell, but I've had to whittle it down to a few snippets, and I'd just like to share them with you. I saw the fish with modern day great philosopher called Homer Simpson once made a statement when talking about marriage. He said the dictionary's definition of a wedding is the removal of weeds from one's garden. Now many feel that he simply misspelt the word wedding for weeding. But I like to think he was saying that marriage can be a confusing time. You must be sure that your partner is definitely the one. You should be ready in yourself to make such a commitment, and you must love each other enough to know you'll spend the whole of your lives together. On top of that, remember 70% of marriage ends in divorce. But then I see... hold on. But then I see Tom and Marie, two of the nicest people I have ever met in my life, and I realise they have no confusion. Their marriage makes complete sense, and I know they'll be very happy together. But before these happy times, I'm going to take much enjoyment in making Tom squirm through the speech. I'd like to take this opportunity to say how lovely you both look. I'm sure all you guys will agree with me. Marie looks amazing in a dress. It's definitely a sad day for all the single guys out there, as another lovely girl leaves the availability list. Also, ladies, I'm sure you'll agree that today has passed without much of a ripple, to be fair. No, only joking, Tom. You look very handsome, eh? So much so that when we went to have our suits fitted, there was an older lady there. I think she was the mother of the shop owner. Anyway, when Tom tried on his suit, she made a comment like, "Oh, it's a shame you're already spoken for, sorry." I had to laugh. I wonder how many people she says that to. But rest assured, Tom, you know, if Marie divorces you, you have your options open. On the subject of Tom looking handsome, you all know it's my and Dave's responsibility to get him looking presentable today. The most important thing to remember with Tom is the strategic shaves we've been giving him throughout the day. This is because, and I don't know if many of you know, but Tom was born with stubble. But now later on in life, his hair has completely moved from the top of his head to his face. So now when he shaves, it doesn't take long for it to grow back. The best example of this was our final year of secondary school. We were due to have a final school photo, but Tom had got on the wrong side of one of the teachers, a particularly grumpy teacher named Mr. Broom, who with a strong Welsh accent would address Tom with, "Hey you clown, and you proverbial monkey." Anyway, he took a great disliking to Tom's facial hair and warned him that if he wasn't cleanly shaven, he wouldn't be included in the photo. Well, the day came, and Tom had shaven that morning, but by the time of the photo, the stubble had reformed. So Mr. Broom, being the pain in the backside he was, clocked him straight away and pulled him to one side. I must admit, we all thought he was going to miss it, and was talking about how out of order it was. But then just when we were about to begin, up strolls Tom. He always managed to sweet talk his way out of things like that, which is exactly what he'll need to do after my next story. Sorry Tom, I do really like you, mate, but I promised you a spanking in this speech. I feel that Marie must have patience with Tom. For instance, he started a career as a joiner, but in recent years went to work as a quantity surveyor in London. Well, after work occasionally, Tom goes for drinks with his work pals. Unfortunately, because of his long work hours, he constantly falls asleep on the last train and wakes up in Southend. So poor Marie has to get up from bed and go rescue him. I normally hear all about it from Tom the next day, as understandably Marie hits the roof. But one particular night out, he told me he stayed out a little later than he usually would, so missed the last train. The only option for him was to get a taxi, and I do believe that Marie doesn't know anything about this. But don't worry, she can't divorce you yet. Anyway, sweet talk your way out of this, mate. As the cab fare was in excess of £150. I know everyone, shocking and very irresponsible of him. You're a total leap out of my book, mate. Seriously though, as I've said before, Tom and I have known each other for many years. He is a great guy, a good friend, and to be fair, you can always rely on him. I have to say, I was very chuffed when Tom asked me to be his best man, and hope I've done a good job of it. I consider him and Marie close friends, and I'm glad today has gone so special for them. But it's because I know Tom so well that I made a little observation that most people wouldn't have noticed. And I promise this is my last story. Anyway, as Tom said, he proposed to Marie in Rome. And it was at a romantic restaurant. I obviously wasn't there, but Tom has described it to us. Everyone's first reaction when he tells them is, "Ah, how romantic," which I agree with, but I also know Tom. This wasn't just a romantic country to propose in. This was an excuse for Tom to visit the famous Roman buildings and fulfil some fantasy of becoming an emperor or something. I guarantee Marie can't count on two hands how many times he quoted from films such as The Gladiator. Well, Tom, that's the end of it, you guys know. Sorry if I've offended you too much. It just leaves me to thank you both. You are two very special friends, and I wish you all the happiness in the future. I'm glad today went so well, and I'm very happy for the both of you. Now can I raise the toast to Tom and Marie?
Tom and Marie.
And one last thing, Finney, did you ever find a picture of Trafalgar Square on your laptop?
Well done, Dal.
Ladies and gentlemen, it depends on how loud a cheer we get for the next speaker. Would you like to hear a few words from the bride? Put your hands together once more for the bride!
I haven't planned to say anything today, but I just think this day can't go by without hearing from me. I know I've probably driven family and friends absolutely mad with trying to plan this wedding, and I must admit to you that I didn't properly get my bum in gear until about 2 weeks ago, in which I started to majorly panic. And it just makes me realise how lucky I am to have such lovely friends and family like you guys, because you all came to my rescue, and I couldn't have done it without the help of you and my family and Tom occasionally.
Reputation's not doing very well.
I just want to say how lucky I feel to be Tom's wife. You said some lovely things about me. And thank you to everybody for saying lovely things about me. It does make me feel special, and I can't find the words to describe how I feel about you. It's alright, but you do know how much I love you, and I want to make a promise to Diane today. And I will always look after your boy. I know it's been very hard to let him go. I like to think that he's in safe hands with me, and I will always try to make him happy.
Am I supposed to drinking partner?
No, you really haven't, Dave. For those who you don't know, Tom's been trying to tell me today that he's a reformed character. And all the drinking's going to stop, and he's just devoted to me. But it wouldn't be you. I'll give you permission.
Yeah,
So I can see that my champagne's certainly not gone. So I'd like to raise a toast to Tom, my husband. To Tom. And lastly, before I go, I've got a request from Rupert over in the corner here. He hasn't got any socks or underpants or cufflinks on today, so if anyone can lend him any of those, I'd really appreciate it.
Brown socks, please, not black.
And thank you very much to everybody for coming. It means a lot, so thank you.
Right, before we complete this part of the proceedings, ladies and gentlemen, it's only right that we should give Peter, our photographer, a nice round of applause. He's been working and also, behind the camera, we've had Ryan there doing all the videos.
Battery run out, I will be excited.
Likewise, we've had Megan, Kelly and their team that actually served the meal this afternoon, and I think they deserve a nice We have certain people on the top table. They're not going to say anything, but I think they certainly deserve a nice round of applause. And the first one, of course, is the groom's dad, David. Please give him a nice round of applause. Also, two very, very important people on the top table. The two lovely mums. Give them a nice round. The one person that we've all come to see today, the absolutely beautiful and stunning bride. As a Toastmaster and Master of Ceremonies, I know what's going to happen next because I put it all together. And when the champagne was opened, I took the very first cork out of the bottle of champagne.